Welcome back. With our second topic today. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said that restoring Egypt's identity requires stepping up efforts of all society components, including mosques, churches, schools, and as well as media, of course. Restoring the Egyptian identity and reforming society need a lot of time and much effort from all parties and to present the vision and mechanisms for supporting Egyptian identity and culture. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with our dear guest, Dr. Hussein El Banhaway, the member of the Supreme Council for Culture. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, sir, as I've just mentioned at the beginning, that President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi spoke about the importance of preserving the identity and preserving heritage in Egypt. So what are the mechanisms for supporting the Egyptian national identity?
I would like first to thank you very much for introducing such topics.
Thank you.
And shedding the light on these topics, because culture actually forms the national identity, and there is a good relation or subtle relation between culture and identity, or the identity of a nation.
Yes.
Therefore, when President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi give recommendations and give orders even to take care of these activities. These activities actually, as I said, form the national identity of Egypt, because culture plays a very important and vital role in this respect. What I would like to say that culture activities differs from culture itself, because culture activities through theater, cinemas, music, and so on, actually these are activities, while the culture of a nation could be reformed through education, customs, habits, and other media in a nation, which forms the culture of people itself. So giving importance to the culture activities and putting it in the right way actually will enhance this culture of a nation and enhance the identity of a nation in the direction which we need.
Yes, Doctor, what is the role of the state's cultural centers and institutions in order to create generations who know or aware of preserving Egypt's identity?
It is very simple. It's to make people know the elements of their culture, the heritage of their culture, the history of Egypt. Actually, culture and the Ministry of Culture must take attention of preserving and shedding the light on the history of Egypt. The history of Egypt extends to 7,000 years.
Yes.
It's very rich history. We have experience of many cultures which came to Egypt and became part of its culture. The Egyptian culture actually has many faces and also has many layers of history. So we must make people know more about their history, to be proud of, and to enhance this history in the future. So I think that the first thing we must do is to make people know about their history, about their music, their arts, which is very rich, of course. All these elements actually could play a role in enhancing the identity of a nation.
Yes, also the president, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said that Egypt is a nation that made history and continues to make history in all domains and on all fronts, as Egypt is always building, and what we are building nowadays is going to be for the coming generation a history also.
That's true, actually. You see, through now, the paper formula, for example, is not books and newspapers are not as before the source of getting information. Now there is different media and different formulas to supply people with knowledge and what they need to know more. Therefore, we must pay attention to this new media, to these new formulas of information. Social contacts and social media plays now a bigger role that of the traditional one. So we must enhance the information through these new medias and make people actually like to see this media. And this is one of the roles of the Ministry of Culture, which the Ministry of Culture must pay more attention in this direction.
Yes, Doctor, I would like to ask you, how do you evaluate or see the level of awareness here in Egypt? What do you feel that, how do you feel that the people are aware of what they have? As for me, as when I'm working in, for example, in Muaz Street in Old Cairo, I see everybody knows the monuments, and they have information about everything, and they are very poor people, and but they know that this is monuments, and they tell me it belongs to the Sultan. When I ask them which Sultan, they tell me, look, we don't know the name, but it's history. This is our monuments, and this is our history. I can see when I visit such places, I can see that the people, all the people in the street, knows very well and evaluates very well, even if they don't have full information about the monument, but they appreciate it, and they know that this is something that we should preserve. So give us an idea about this, please.
Well, as I said, that we must use the new formula of supplying people with such knowledge and information. The problem is that we have a very long history, and we have a different facets of these cultures. We have the Islamic culture, Coptic culture, Pharaonic culture, Islamic culture, Greek culture, Persian cultures. All these cultures came to Egypt and shaped the present culture of Egypt. So it is not easy to introduce such a culture to people. But I believe that through different ways of introducing culture, through theater, films, documentaries, this could be achieved. Therefore, I suggest that there must be a text which should be distributed in schools, universities, to
the schools
people more aware of their culture.
Yes, since you've mentioned, Doctor, the schools, how do you see the way that the information should be provided in the syllabus to the students and the pupils? Do you think that just reading about the monument in the book and seeing its picture is enough, or it's very good that most of the schools here in Egypt they make, you know, just a one-day trip to several monuments here in Egypt, so that the students would not ever forget what they have visited.
Yes,
Yes.
this is true. Organizing trips to such monuments and sites could play a very good role in that respect. But
Yes.
also, I would suggest that contests could be also one of the means which we attract the attention of these students to their greatness of their country and their
Yes.
history.
Yes.
There are many ways actually which we must pay more attention to them.
Yes. I thank you very much for your time. Also, thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Hussein El Banhaway, the member of the Supreme Council for Culture. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. I really had the pleasure to have this phone with you. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, The Breakfast Show. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.